Minor premiership in the bag. Now the question is, ahead of their final round match against the Bulldogs, should the big guns be sidelined and given a breather ahead of finals footy? Brad, what should Ivan Cleary do?
I'd rest Viliami. He just looks like a bloke that could be injured. He's thrown himself in the air. He throws himself everywhere. He's 115 odd kilo. There'd be a few players also carrying some injuries, I'd say, that a lot of us wouldn't know about, so you might be able to give them a rest. I think the halves will most probably play. I think all your players, your generals that direct the team around, I reckon they could go out and play a game and, put in a bit of dinner suit, get the ball down that end, do what you got to do. But
they play their dogs, don't they?
Play the dogs.
Yeah, dogs do nothing to play for, but they've got some heart, the dogs. I'll tell you, there's one team outside that top 8 we'll talk about later that wouldn't be too hard to turn around if they can put a couple of players in. That's the Dogs. But I wouldn't rest any Panthers players. I'd keep the roll going. They're young, they're enthusiastic, they're healthy. The public they seem to be healthy anyway. I just think if they do that, it may halt momentum. We'll ask Cleary later, but I just find that the way they are at the moment, I'll just keep the roll going, keep riding the wave, as Cleary says.
I saw there's plenty of spirit there. I think whoever comes in is going to do a good job. You're not going to get someone come in and just have a shocker and it's going to cost them a game. Mate, when you watch them after a game, they just come on and react together, and it's pretty impressive. These blokes are all in together.
What about players not getting the minutes they need, though? I mean, if Nathan does go down in the opening week of the finals and they need it, the likes of Matt Burton can come in, but he's played limited, if any, football over.
Well, I thought he looked a bit scratchy. He played a bit on against Cowboys.
Yeah,
I thought he looked a bit scratchy out of all of them. So, that might be part of the tactics. And, that was all spoken about right at the start, wasn't it? Everyone was asking Anthony Seibold, are you going to rest some of these forwards for the season?
Then he got rested.
He got rested. See, with Penrith, I would have adopted a bit more of what the Roosters have done. Rest certain players throughout the year, particularly going into the last 6 weeks, but they haven't done that.
Yep.
So to rest a number of players for the very last game of the season, for me, I was really worried if it was to halt their momentum. That's what my concern would be.
Okay, see what he does. And you know what?
We'll ask
Let's
him.
just ask him right here on 100% Footy. Coming up next, really looking forward to this chat. Ivan Cleary, the man that's helped the team get to the top of the ladder and perhaps go all the way, joins us. We'll ask him what he's going to do with the side against the Doggies and how this year has been in all. It's been quite the season for the Panthers.
Hey James, how are you?
Not too bad. Great to have you on the show. Been looking forward to this chat because this is, I guess, a rare opportunity to talk about a rare thing for a team. You look back on the season for the Panthers so far, and there's only 2 blips on the radar. One, a draw against the Knights, which you still took a point away from, and the other, just a minor slip up in that loss to the Eels, which saw you with your one and only loss. Why has it gone so well for your young team this year?
If I knew that, I would have done it 10 years ago, mate.
It's a very good point. But this is the perfect scenario, isn't it, for any coach out there to be able to obviously get your foot in the door there, have this team, a young team that obviously get along so well, and convert that into points on the paddock.
Yeah, look, we worked extremely hard in the pre-season. We got good staff, we got good players, we got good chemistry, and it's just one thing's led to another. The best thing about it, I think, is that we could be reliable and consistent from week to week. And as we've done that, we've been able to give ourselves a chance, to win games. We managed to win a few games there against good teams early in the season. That gave us great confidence, and we've just been able to hold it together ever since. And I've got to say, it's been a really fun ride, and looking forward to a little bit more.
Ivan, when you were on last on the ladder after 10 rounds last year, first season back at the club, did any stage did you say, "What have I done"?
Yes. I remember it well. We had a game there against the Warriors, mid-season, whenever. We lost 6 in a row, and we were horrible. It was, you sit there and watch the team play and just go, "I'm responsible for this." It was a difficult time. We were copying a lot of criticism, and I was copying a lot from just the way I left the Tigers. And my son Nathan was copying a lot of criticism. He wasn't playing that well, so it's a heavy burden at the time. But it's amazing how things can turn around.
Well, me and Webby were just talking about, you finished 11th last year. What did you do differently? We know the team, as you said, you got great chemistry, a great group of guys all playing for each other. But what did you do differently as a coach?
Yeah, I wasn't at my best last year. I certainly tried my hardest, but I wasn't as effective as I needed to be for a variety of reasons. So I probably invested more time than ever in improving myself, having a good look at myself, where I needed to improve, what we needed to do better as a team, and kind of went away and did that. It was pretty clear. I formed a pretty clear vision of how we needed to improve as a team and what my role was, to lead that. And as I said, like, one thing's just led to another. I've got an amazing group of players and staff. One thing it definitely did was make sure everybody who was with us was on board and, was going to row in the same direction. And it's easy to say, but we've been able to do that.
At any stage, did you invest in a life coach?
No, I didn't. I've definitely got mentors that I lean on and have known for a long time. But I did a little bit.
Can you share that? Can you give us one of those people that you confide in?
Yeah, I guess my first mentor over in the Warriors, a guy called John Hart, who was an ex-All Black coach. Pretty famous in New Zealand. He was really good because I knew more about rugby league than he did, but he knew more about pretty much everything else than I did. So I actually rang him yesterday about something. So.
The big question on this show tonight, and I'm sure from all Panthers fans, is last game of the season up against the Dogs. You've won the minor premiership. Will you rest players this week? Me and Freddie have had a bit of an argument about it. But what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I've been, obviously, had this asked of me for a long time now, and we've pretty much kept to the theory that we'd rest guys from training as much as we could. Did rest a couple of guys on the weekend because, we had a home final locked up. Now I've obviously got the minor premiership locked up. So anyone who's got any sort of form of niggles that's, bad enough for them to be potentially miss some training sessions this week will be considered to be rested. So without giving much away, there'll be a couple of guys rested, yes.
Ivan, we spoke on this show 2 weeks ago. Gal said that he sees in your side what he saw in the 2016 Sharks team, that they don't care about expectation, they don't care what people on the outside are saying. How is your young team going to handle the finals, the big games?
Well, we'll just be going in pretty much like we go in every other week. We started this journey as underdogs. No one expected us to do much this year. I think most people didn't expect us to be in the top 8, let alone where we are. So, and before you know it, we are where we are. So we'll probably go into the finals as underdogs as well in some sense, which is, suits us. And we'll just prepare like we do every other game. We'll go in with a strong belief that if we play to our potential, then we'll give ourselves a chance. I think that's all you can ask for in the semis. And you're right, our young blokes don't carry a lot of baggage in that sense. So there's not much we can do about it. It's not like we can get more experienced. The only way to do it is get into it. So we're looking forward to it.
I was thinking the same thing, actually, because I was looking at just some stats and stuff, and the Penrith back five is so active. They had so many moves. And when I think about your team, your back five were fantastic. Your wingers were just...
Yeah, I've compared
To'o,
Nathan Crichton to Jack Bird, Valentine Holmes, Saifeki, and they're doing a terrific job. And they've done it consistently, which is really important.
What about Ive? You've got a lot of stars. Obviously, Nathan has a big impact on your team, and Jerome has brought some things to your side. But is there someone that we sort of don't necessarily notice as much that's been the big improver, that's brought a lot of it together?
It's hard to single guys out, but one guy I think who's been an integral part of the team for a while is Isaiah Yeo. I think this year he's sort of cemented his role. He didn't play a couple of weeks ago, and and we definitely noticed that he wasn't there. And I mean, you could say that about a lot of players that don't play, but he's just been so solid this year. His leadership's gone through a new level, and he really, really cares about the team in more ways than just what's obvious or how he plays behind the scenes. As I said, he's been there for a while. He's played a lot of games now, and he's such a calm influence on our young boys. He's been really good for us.
I agree with Isaiah, but one guy I think has been really impressive is Martin on the right-hand edge. I thought you went way too much to kick out last year, and he was obviously a target, but he's coming on that right-hand edge. He's done a great job for you this year.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's probably the most improved player in the comp. He only debuted last year, so he's only young. But you're right. Like we definitely overused kicks last year. Why wouldn't you? He's obviously a good man to go to. But we actually even on the left side, I think we've used him as a decoy a lot more this year, and he's been good enough as a team guy to accept that. And Marto's been giving us that real balance, as you said, on the other side of the field.
Ivan, before we let you go, can I just confirm the hair won't be cut until the team loses this season? Is that correct?
Potentially.
Potentially. Yeah, so you're hoping it's got another 6 weeks, at least another 6 weeks in it. I tell you what, it's getting some length at the back there.
It's very Richard Gere-ish.
He's from Penrith, mate. He's a Penrith coach. He should have a mullet. He should have a mullet. Get it going.
Put the earring back in too, Ive.
Mate, if they win the comp, you've got to get the tattoo as well.
Mate, whatever. It's a good problem to have, I think.
Yeah, that's very true. Ivan, all the best, and for your sake, we hope that hair stays intact for a few weeks yet, and good luck against the Doggies this weekend.
Yeah, thanks for carving me up, boys.
Ivan Cleary joining us here, the Panthers coach. What a season they are having here at 100% Footy. Stay with us, plenty more still to come shortly.